TYFU.
Marilla,
Bethany.
are you ready for another episode?
Yes.
Good.
I'm dying for another episode.
Okay, me too.
Good.
You got any business you want to talk about?
Oh, goodness gracious. Do we have any business? Yes. I want to say thank you to everybody who commented and shared and participated in our little giveaway that
Our merch
celebrated
giveaway. Yeah.
5,000 downloads. That was so exciting, and it's very fun to see some of our merch go out into the world to a listener
Fly
that
away.
loves it. Yeah. So please, if you have any TYFU pod merch, send us pictures and we will, or tag us on social media and we will share it because we love to see it.
It's fun to see. What else?
I think that's all the business my brain can handle today.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel a little like not snappy yet, but
Yeah.
maybe once we get rolling into the episode,
True.
you know.
Maybe we'll have such a spicy topic that we'll just start popping like popcorn as we do.
Well, let's rip an envelope then.
All right, let's just tear it right
Okay.
open.
Okay.
Who ripped it?
I ripped it. And I ripped it because I was so excited about this week's topic. Do you remember a couple of episodes ago, you used the word gauche? Gauche.
Yes.
We were talking, it was the donations
Gauche.
episode.
A bit
And-
gauche.
Yes. I think you actually you weren't like a bit gauche. You were like, how gauche? How very gauche. Not like mildly gauche. You
Sounds
were-
like me. Sounds like me.
Well, I've been obsessed with the word gauche ever since I heard you use
Ooh.
it. And, I looked up its etymology and I looked up its synonyms.
Sounds
and all
like a
this stuff that
bookseller
like
to me.
a nerd like me might do. But when customers lately have been coming into the store and acting a little, let me see, I'll check my thesaurus, acting a little awkward, graceless, inelegant.
Ooh.
What's another one? Wooden, stilted, and rustical.
Rustical? Rustical?
I'm just
A bit gauche or rustical.
Or rustical.
You know,
as customers sometimes do. Oh my, how gauche. I love thinking that in my head.
Yes.
Like, for instance, if somebody comes in and they're having like a video call.
A video call?
Like while they're shopping in the store. You've seen this.
Like a FaceTime call.
Yes, a FaceTime call. While they're shopping.
I don't know that I've had
Oh
someone
my gosh, I've had it many
FaceTiming.
times.
Many times?
Many times.
You're saying this as if this isn't like a specific story. I'm like, man, she's throwing away a story here.
Well,
that's never
I had
happened to
one
me.
recently, which reminded me of your using the word gauche, and I
Yeah.
thought to myself, "Oh, how gauche!"
Yeah.
But
That is a
I've
bit
seen this
gauche.
a bunch of times.
FaceTiming. And it wasn't me, right?
No.
Okay,
And
good.
it wasn't me talking to you.
Okay,
No.
okay.
These are shoppers who are just like wandering around the store with their phone, like sort of like
Draped
yeah.
lackadaisically.
Yeah. As if everyone in the store wants to hear what they're talking about
And see.
hear what the other person is talking about and
Yeah.
see what the other person is seeing. It's like people are going on virtual shopping trips together, except
Yes.
there's only one person in the store. It drives me nuts. Why is this? Am I too uptight?
No.
Is this just
but
the way
I'm
of the
also,
world
as
today
you're-
and I'm
as
too
you're
old-fashioned?
ranting wildly and foaming at the mouth here. I'm thinking maybe like it's triggering me, but why are we complaining? It's two customers in one potentially.
I guess so.
You know, if you really started showing
Yeah.
your stuff, you might be able to snag another person.
If I was like jumping up and down in the
Right. It's a
background
video
showing a new
back.
arrival. But I think what bothers me about it is because neither one of them are really shopping. Like they're just kind of like in the space.
They're killing time,
Yeah.
which brings me to another thing.
Okay.
When customers come in and you say, "Hi, how are you?" And they say, "Oh, I'm just killing time." Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Like,
Right.
what? Like, I don't just give up on that customer, but I could see how some people would respond with, I'm just here. I'm just killing time. Like, don't try me. I'm just here wasting my time.
Don't interact with me at all any further.
Right. So I'm just killing time in your store, like, because I have to be here. I'd rather be someplace else, but I can't go there yet. Well, it's weird.
Yes. As if somehow that's a nice thing to say to you.
Yeah. And, I'm thinking of someone just this weekend who said that to me, and it's not automatically not nice, because someone who just said that to me recently ended up shopping around and buying a few things, and she's a lovely customer. There's no it's not like it's automatically rude.
Yes.
But there's something about it, depending on the vibe, that makes you feel
dismissed,
perhaps. Boring, perhaps. I don't know.
I don't know what it is either. I think there's some unpacking to do there, but
maybe it goes hand in hand with the talking on the phone girl or guy who might be in your store just yapping to somebody. Yeah.
And thinking all the customers want to hear it. Like, I'm not trying to get work done, and that's not distracting to me.
Right.
It seems very arrogant to me when somebody is having a public conversation as if they are the only people who matter on the planet.
I'm feeling like this episode is going to make us sound like the biggest curmudgeons
I know.
in the world.
I know. And in fact, it's probably gauche. Let's just get it out of the way. It's probably gauche to be complaining so much.
Complaining about anyone in our stores.
It's very rustical to be complaining about
our... wooden.
It's wooden.
It's quite wooden of us. Yes, but now that we have that out of the way, let us proceed.
I know the hypocrisy comes early in this one.
Very early. We're just jumping right in. Yeah.
Well, let me interrupt you. Somebody walks in the door, you're like, hey, how are you? And they're like, I'm just killing time. It's the same feeling for me, sort of, when somebody walks in the front door, you're like, hey, how are you? And they say, I'm just browsing. Like instantly. In a very clipped tone, like you're already up their butthole. I've been looking for another reason to say butthole on the podcast. You're already up their butthole just by saying hello.
Yeah.
Just by existing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's a very lose-lose feeling, because in that moment, you tend to feel like if you say hello, they bark at you that they're just looking, leave them alone. But quite frequently, I get the vibe from that individual that if I didn't say hello, they might be the type of person to leave a review saying, very unwelcoming. Shopkeeper did not even say hello when I walked in the door. There's a similar vibe there, and it feels lose-lose when you
customer.
do say, So I think you just have to forge ahead, hopelessly cheery, and just welcome them with open arms and get slapped.
I know it happens sometimes. I have been known to, Marilla. If I say hello to someone and they just ignore me, I have been known to say hello multiple times until I get them to acknowledge my existence. I will follow them around. I'll jump in front of them and be like, hello, hi.
I love that.
It's not because
I like it.
It's not for any other reason except it's like it's like you can't walk into my space and pretend I don't exist.
Pretend I'm not here. Yes.
No, just like I'm not going to pretend that you don't exist out of common respect.
Right. A mutual appreciation of one another's existence.
Namaste, Marilla.
That's exactly right. And that is what this podcast is all about.
Right. Peace.
Yes.
And, recognizing the Buddha in the other person.
Yeah, I quite frequently in my store I'm pretty chatty. I'm pretty chatty. So folks will come in and I'll say hi, hello, whatever. We get done with our thing. And I might say something else. I might say...
What might you say?
I might say...
How are you today? You might comment on the weather?
Crazy weather we're having. I might say to you, what else? What are you up to today?
I would say I'm just browsing.
Yeah. But sometimes I'll say, what are you up to today? And the person I'm saying it to does not hear me or chooses to ignore that. And then the other customer that just witnessed me saying something to someone and getting ignored looks at me awkwardly like, yikes.
Wow, this is very cringy, isn't it?
Yes.
I feel uncomfortable on your behalf.
Yes. And then I have to look them in the eye and be like, well, they didn't hear me. This is awkward. Like, and
right.
I usually I'll just acknowledge that was not heard or acknowledged, not rudely, but just, okay, never mind.
Okay, I got to tell you a thing, though. Like the other day, I had one customer and another customer, and one customer was being super cringe to the other customer. Ugh. Like, speaking of a person who is making the polite person feel uncomfortable.
Yes, I believe the term nowadays is giving the person the ick. Yeah, they were giving them the ick.
So
one customer was giving the other customer the ick.
I don't know if it was the ick. It wasn't like I don't think that the one customer was like hitting on the other customer.
Okay.
But certainly was commenting on their body.
Oh.
So let me set the scene a little bit more. I had a young woman in my store who was very visibly pregnant.
Oh, boy.
Was I staring at her huge belly? No. Because that would have been gauche. That would have been gauche.
Yes.
But the other customer, he certainly was very interested in her huge belly.
Oh, boy.
And he was commenting on how huge her belly was. And she must be ready to pop any second.
Oh,
and
boy.
She was wearing like a sort of, like, everything's tight when you're 87 weeks pregnant, right? But her shirt was tight. And he points at her and says,
no. Oh, no.
Is that your belly button? And the pregnant customer looks at me.
Yeah.
And
like,
I look at right. And I'm just like, holy cow, I'm so sorry. But I didn't say it out loud.
Said, no, it's mine.
If I was in the middle of being so mortified on her behalf, I might have come up with something clever.
Wow.
It was so uncomfortable when one customer was being that gauche to another.
Yes.
So awkward.
Plus, it is breaking a cardinal rule of never commenting on a stranger's pregnancy or body in general. But it's a real bold move to say something about a pregnancy. Like, I don't think it's a good idea if you don't know someone.
Right.
Not until the baby is out and in their arms.
And then you can say, oh, you must have been pregnant.
Oh, you must.
Were you pregnant?
Were you pregnant?
I didn't notice.
Yeah. That is the rule. Okay. Wow. But some people, they don't live by these rules. I've had... Man, there's so many things, but we're just lighting right into it. Lately, I've had quite a few customers coming in and commenting about how thin my legs are. Oh, like in front.
I never noticed. Even if I had, I never would have commented.
But I think the other day, I don't even remember what I was wearing, but I think it was 3 in a row.
Oh, commented on your chicken legs?
Commented on my
what little
legs.
Chicken legs you have, Marilla?
My little sandpiper legs. In front of my manager, and finally we work through those 3 customers, and my manager looks at me and goes, "Are you okay?" Which is fine. I mean, I was fine. It's all comedy in my book. But is it inappropriate? Absolutely. And I don't know where it's just absolutely not good etiquette to walk in and comment about someone's
chicken
body
legs.
shape or yeah, right.
Yeah.
Chicken legs, knobbly knees.
No, we have a shared customer, and every time I change my hair, he's got to say something about it. I know you know who this. I'll do an impression. Your new hair is not very becoming.
I believe
That's not very becoming on you.
it might have been the same one who was mentioning my legs
Your
the
chicken
other
legs?
day.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did he say, you have chicken legs?
Marilla. Always starts with that. But yeah, I think a customer, I think that's some etiquette and vice versa. Like no one should be commenting on a customer's shape or size.
No, and
or
why would you
legs
ever?
Or yeah. Nope. That's a rule. Don't do it.
It's just polite. It doesn't even have to be in our stores. You know, like so much of this just seems like common courtessy to me.
Yeah, but it's amazing what you come
Unless it's your
across.
sister, you can't mock her about
It's true.
her sandpiper legs, you know, or whatever.
It's
or
true.
like her leg warmers. I'm referring now to my sister. Shout out, Allison.
Cool leg warmers.
So anyway, what else do customers do that's awkward?
Gosh, they hand me their trash.
Oh my gosh, they sure do. Can you take care of this for me?
Do you have a trash can here?
Yeah. It's just like, it's a McDonald's bag. It's their Dunkin' crap.
Literally.
Yes.
Literally. And I always find it a little bit ironic because our whole shop is centered around reducing waste. And so in one sense,
You're like,
I'm
I'll
almost
recycle it for you, okay?
I'm almost glad because, yes, I know exactly what to do with this. It's going to go in this bin, and then we're going to take it to the proper place where it will get.
Do you use it as a teaching moment when somebody
It's
hands
tempting.
you?
It's tempting, but nobody wants that. They just want to get rid of their coffee cup. It's comical to me that people are walking around the store and then they're like, oh, I don't want this plastic cup anymore. Ugh, can you throw this away? I'm like, exactly. That's exactly what my store is about. If you hadn't gotten this plastic cup, we wouldn't be in this position.
Right. The irony.
What if I said no? Like, what if I said no? I never do, though. I always take it because that is my job as shopkeeper.
Yeah.
Plastic-free shop or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, people giving
Handing you their garbage is on my list, Marilla.
Oh, you've got a list.
I've got a list as usual. And eating in the store in general. I've mentioned that a million times.
Yeah, recently, I know you have, but recently I was thinking about you because I had a customer come in eating an ice cream cone. Our Rochester location is right across the street from an incredible ice cream store. Parlor? I don't know.
Shoppe.
SHOPPE.
Yes.
So someone came in with this incredible ice cream and it was getting the better of them.
They were in a battle and they were losing.
And they were chasing that cone around the whole store. And after they left, I just kind of followed the little drip drop trail of ice cream. Thank goodness I have a floor that's not carpeted, but I just followed the drip drop trail of ice cream around the store. And they also left like a napkin covered in ice cream.
Of course they
someplace.
did, because they always do. They always do.
And so I am a cool mom and I don't ban people from eating in my store. But I did think to myself, that's a pretty good rule, Beth, in my head at that moment.
Recently, we had a little bit of a tourist event in town. And so that really brought some people out.
That's a whole nother episode.
Yes, the eclipse recap, which will be months after the eclipse that we'll talk about it, but maybe we'll
recover.
the trauma will be past a little bit.
That's
but
right.
Anyway, we were in Path of Totality, woohoo, and it brought a lot of people to town. And I had a family come in, like children everywhere, with these like bags of chips, right? Bags of chips. Ooh. And the children who were everywhere were all shoveling, like wildly shoveling these greasy potato chips into their mouth. You can hear the sound effects, right? Yeah. And
can we get some chewing, like chip crunching, Kelly? I know you really like that.
It's gross, but also some finger licking and some slobbering noises too. It was just too much for me because I sell a lot of antique books and paper. And if you touch paper with a greasy finger, it's going to be a problem.
Did you just try to abbreviate finger?
That's what all the kids are saying these days.
A greasy fing.
Anyway, I mustered my most cheerful, friendly voice.
Ooh, proud of you.
To say, I'm so sorry. There's no snacking in our store. We don't allow food in our store. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I tried to make it my most elevated, welcoming, but setting down the rules.
It's airy.
Self.
It's like Glinda the Good Witch. I can hear it.
So one of the parents looked at me and said, okay. And I thought, oh, good. We're just gonna TO on the snacking for a second.
Amazing.
But instead, they all just immediately left the store.
Mass exodus.
They were gone. And I was like, oh, okay.
And you lost a dozen sales.
I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't have bought anything. Maybe they would have.
Maybe they were just killing time.
They probably were just killing time before the eclipse, as was everyone.
Oh boy.
But anyway, eating in the store.
You just kicked him right out. Kicked him right out.
So
they were just, yeah. Where are we on your list here?
Oh, I've got so many. I don't like to tell you that I have a long list. But I always do.
You did warn me. You've gotten quite adept at your list making.
All right. So how does this feel for you? A customer is in your store. They're browsing around. Often it's with another person. And one customer says to the other customer, oh, I think I'm just going to get this online. Or for me, it's sometimes since we do custom picture framing, I think I'm just going to take this over to Michael's, and they say it right in front of you.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to sting. Like they're not even ashamed to say it right in front of you, because why wouldn't they buy it online?
Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? It's a better deal.
Right.
Come on now.
Right.
We're all looking for a bargain. That makes me, you asked me how that makes me feel. That makes me feel triggered, as I often feel in this room with you. I have had not once, multiple times back when I was selling more vitamins. Mm-hmm. I had customers that they would come in and they would tell me about a malady. Mm-hmm. Name one. It could be
erectile dysfunction.
Exactly where I was going with that. Look at us popping like popcorn. So we could have just spent 30 minutes discussing
your penis,
erectile dysfunction, and all that goes along with it. Mm-hmm. And I have made my recommendations of which supplements.
How helpful of you.
You would take. Mm-hmm. And, maybe someday when we have a Patreon, we can put those recommendations on there. I will have made the recommendation and the person goes, oh, okay, yeah. Then they pull out their phone and they find the supplement on Amazon and they go, oh, I found it on Amazon. Click.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
And it's like half the price of here.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even have a chance to talk them out of it. They just went ahead and clicked. On Amazon, you can buy immediately.
Yeah.
We have to start beeping Amazon. I hate naming them.
Yes.
Can we come up with a coded sound for Amazon? Amazing.
Okay, that's going to start next episode.
Yes.
Or later in this episode.
Maybe we could, now that we've mentioned it, maybe we can give it a shot and just say.
Or.
Yeah. Or maybe. See what happens. Anyway. I couldn't believe the nerve that took to take 30 minutes of my time as a little clerk to just stand in front of this person that spent 30 minutes with you, kind of personalizing a recommendation for what product you should buy. And then just stand in front of them and buy it from someone else.
Yeah.
And then show them proudly that you bought it from someone else.
I just think it illustrates the absolute disconnect that people have about your purpose in life.
Yeah, like
how you might make your money and pay your rent.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, how am I supposed to respond to that?
I have no idea.
I don't know either. I don't even remember how I did. It's been a while. I was younger and less sassy then, but but it has not happened to me once. It has happened to me multiple times. And I think nowadays I usually am smarter about intercepting it. So someone will say, oh, well, I mean, I can get it cheaper here, and they'll show it to me and shove it in my face. And I'll be like, well, if that's where you want your money to go, then by all means,
yes, exactly.
buy it from there.
Yeah.
And I hold their gaze.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that is crazy. I think if it was me, you know, I do admire a certain amount of nerve. So there's a part of me that is like, you know what? If you can do that, more power to you. But I think if it was me, I'd at least like go out in my car.
Yes, of course. Of course. You know, everybody has a right to shop around. Everyone has a right to put their dollars where they want to put their dollars.
Yeah.
But just what's gauche about it.
What's gauche?
is, you know, just kind of waving it in front of our faces like that. You know,
Yeah.
people will take pictures of things in my store
Yes.
that they later intend to buy elsewhere. Like,
Yes.
fine, but I'm paying the rent here. And how am I going to stay here so that you can kind of like curate your own Christmas list by using my
Time, energy.
products that I've paid for?
Yes.
So that you can then go home
And find a
and
dupe.
give it to,
Yeah.
you know, and then come back in the spring and ask me for a donation to your theater group or
Right.
whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it is. No offense against theater people.
Oh no, we've lost a producer.
Kelly Walker. Too bad.
for Kelly Walker. Yeah, that's one that comes up, and that's a doozy.
Yeah.
That's a doozy.
Yeah, and it goes right along with bartering, which we've already covered on another episode, so I'm not going to even mention it on
No.
this episode.
No, because
but
you got to work for it. You
bartering
gotta-
is gauche.
That is gauche.
Yes.
For sure.
How about this one? A customer thinking that they know more about your product than you do. Now, we've already said, you know, there's other episodes where we cover customer advice.
Yes.
But when a customer tries to educate you about your product, has that happened?
Oh, all the time. And let me tell you, recently, I had a customer, and this might be niching down a little bit, but we're in this together. Let's just all take the journey together. I sell plastic-free products that are ethically sourced.
Ba-boom.
So there's 2 layers.
Double whammy.
Double whammy, right? One, I want to make sure you can bury it in the ground. It's not going to hurt anything when you're done with it. And I want to make sure the people that made the product are being paid fairly. Yada, yada, yada. All that boring stuff.
That might cost more, though.
Nice lead in. So I had this person in my store that wanted this thing and that thing and this thing and that thing. And then they said they needed a toothbrush. Okay, so we go over to the toothbrushes. This person wants it to be completely compostable. Okay, so that narrows it down to this toothbrush over here. And it is $5.
Yeah, it was a...
$5 for a toothbrush. Mm-hmm. Okay. The reason we moved on to this toothbrush is because the last toothbrush that I showed her that was $3.25 is sourced from bamboo farmers in China.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. This customer did not want to purchase anything from China, which is fine. So I showed them an option that was made here in the States.
Uh-huh.
It's more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And then they lectured me on why I shouldn't have anything from China and why I should be more accessible. My price points are too expensive, and I should never source anything from places that grow bamboo.
Yeah. I think this customer needs to start a business. I think
Oh, boy.
definitely.
Oh, boy.
They understand business way better than you do,
They
apparently.
do.
And they could serve all their little needs.
Yes, they
Like-
really could. And then I said, you know what? Okay, I have one other option. I will send you an email about it. And then they explain to me how they don't believe in sending emails because that's not eco-friendly, because the energy that goes into sending an email is irresponsible.
Dude, that's a customer to break up with. It is.
So here I am, my hands shackled.
Right.
Like I can't do anything. I can't offer them an affordable product. I can't offer them a compostable product, and I can't offer them an email to give them better options. So yeah, I said, we're at this is a non-starter. I guess this is not the shop for you. But you know what? After that very rude interaction, this person has been back and purchased things because my prices, turns out, are pretty competitive. So it's just, yes, I have had customers explain to me why what I'm doing is not what I think I'm doing and what I should do better.
You know this book that I had loaned to you a while ago, and then you just returned to me today.
Yes, after a very short window.
This classic called Sales Ways.
Sales Ways,
from
our Bible.
43.
Yes.
Our baker friends, the people, I know that there's a handful of bakers who listen to TYFU.
Yeah, shout out to the bakers.
They need to have this book because if they can find it, for goodness sake. I've looked for it on the internet here and there, and I can't give up my copy. But the Fleischmann Company, when they had little shops in the 40s,
yes,
had this as a training manual for their sales girls. And there's so much advice.
Honestly, I love being a sales girl.
In this book. But I was flipping, after you gave it back to me earlier today, I was flipping through it, and there's several different types of difficult customers that are mentioned in this book.
Yes.
Including the know-it-all. The know-it-all has its own chapter.
Its own chapter.
Yes. And the way that they talk about the know-it-all is the customer who corrects or argues with every single suggestion you make, which is what you had in your store with the toothbrusher.
Oh, and what's the rule?
Well, I don't know if I can read the whole chapter on our podcast, but
fine.
She wants something for dessert. You suggest a cake. She says, "Oh, a cake won't do it all. My husband won't eat a baker's cake. He thinks I'm the only one who can bake a good cake."
Oh, this is triggering.
Anyway, it goes on and on. But I also, in this book, difficult customers include the chatty customer. There's a whole section on men and how difficult they are and why they're difficult, because they're very important. They're very self-important in the Fleischmann stores, apparently, or else they always order the same exact thing every week, and you can't ever upsell them on anything. That's the problem with men.
That's the problem
if
with
I've said
men.
it once, I've said it 1,000 times.
Right.
But anyway, Marilla, before we move on from the book, I just want to say that one thing that they suggest is gauche in this is the salesperson who wears too much makeup. There's a whole section on grooming. And this author says, let's say farewell to moppy eyelashes, flaming cheeks, a Cupid's bow mouth, no, and
have that.
elaborate coiffure. You're always so into your...
Beth is guilty of an elaborate coiffure, I must say. I've been in your store on occasion
when I have an elaborate coiffure.
That is an elaborate coiffure.
Well, you're always talking about your big hair and your shampoo bars.
All right, okay.
But anyway, customers who are know-it-alls. The book is Sales Ways by Alice Dowling. We'll have to put a picture of it on our Instagram.
Oh, we sure will.
Shall.
We sure will, and we shall. But it's not the last you've heard of that book. Let me
It's like basically a Bible.
Yeah, it is. It is
for the sales girl,
right?
But I was when I asked if you had customers who are know-it-all or talk down to you or educate you about your own product. It reminded me of when customers think that I'm a real ignoramus for not having read this book or that book. And I own a bookstore.
And you own a bookstore.
I own a bookstore and I've never read X, Y, or Z.
Yeah.
No, it's because I'm too busy reading Sales Ways by Alice Dowling. But no, it's like I can't read every book on the planet. And I'm sorry I haven't read your favorite book, customer.
Again,
you don't have to talk to me like I'm not a professional.
This is about when I came in asking for James Harriet.
I've never read James Harriet, but at least I know what it is.
That's true.
The British vet.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
He's darling. Anyway. Again, it's a kind of niche, like your book, reading all the books in your store, but I have customers that will come in to my sustainable store, and if they're already well-versed in sustainability, there are a few that will come in like with their hackles up.
Oh.
Like, I can't tell them anything. Like, they'll be like, this is a line I get quite often from that customer. They'll come in, they'll say, oh, this is so nice. And they walk around and then they say, oh, well, this is nice, but I just already have all these things.
I've had that happen, Marilla. It's not niche because I've had customers, more than one, come in and be like, oh, well, I'd buy a book from you, but I have all these. There's like 3,500 books in the store at any given moment, but
I also sell toothbrushes.
Yeah, so you have more than one of those in your lifetime.
You really do. Ooh,
toilet paper. You need just that one roll that you've already purchased.
Right.
Somewhere else.
I know that you sell notepads, pens even. I have one in my hand. Like,
nice
I'm
pen.
not. And then it's awkward because it's like, I'm not in the business of telling people to buy things that they don't need. But I don't believe you. I don't believe that you have everything in this store. And I think it's a little bit rude to go around my whole store and be like, oh, well, this is cute. But I mean, I already know everything and have everything in here. Makes me crazy. So I feel like that's a bit gauche, but.
Oh, it's totally gauche. Oh, and wooden.
And rustical. Yeah, so that's something that happens to me. People come in and they already have it all, and they already know it all, and they don't want, and they think it's cute that I'm participating.
Oh, yeah, welcome to the team.
Yes. But it's not like a nice welcome to the team.
Maybe someday
like,
you'll be as sustainable as me.
Yeah, yeah. Which is, ugh. That's not what we're about. So that's not our people anyway, but.
I have a different kind of customer who is also a know-it-all in terms of needing to jump in on my conversations with other customers. Like, say for example, I'm at the framing table and say Kelly Walker is at the framing table. It's happened.
Yeah, I've heard. Legends of this.
And Kelly might be doing perfectly fine considering his mat choices, his frame choices, his glazing choices. And we're having also, I do like to think of myself as a professional.
Right.
So I'm perfectly fine helping Kelly with these choices.
Yes.
So there's no need for a customer to come over and sit down at the table.
Oh, no.
And start like throwing in their 2 cents about it, or asking about the art, or don't you think you should try a green mat on that?
Oh, no.
And,
sitting down?
Undermining, not with Kelly, but it has happened, undermining my suggestions.
And professional advice.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And I have had a certain customer be mistaken for an employee.
Ooh. Because
this customer
it's gone so far.
Is so intensely nosy about what's going on at the framing table. But then I don't ever want to speak harshly to the customer who's out of line.
Right.
I don't want to make it more awkward. So you feel really, it's sometimes very difficult to navigate a situation where you really want to tell a customer off, but you don't want to look gauche in front of another customer.
Yes.
So
yes, you have to really
finesse that situation.
Right, when you're dealing with rude customers or like in shop etiquette, it's tricky because it's not always just you and the rude customer.
Yes.
The wooden customer.
Yes.
It's not just always mono. Well, how do you say that? Mono a mono or something like that. Yeah. And so you're having to deal with this rude interaction and feel like you have to stand up for yourself sometimes because there's other people in the room. But you also, like you said, can't ruin the experience, make it so weird and stand up for yourself so much that it harshes
makes you
the
look
vibe.
bad. Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to harsh the vibe.
Let's harken back to the gentleman who was commenting on the belly button.
Yes,
right?
let us.
So in the moment, I knew that it was incredibly inappropriate. I felt like very uncomfortable for the pregnant lady. She was handling it with a lot of grace and humor. So I thought, like, I could step in. Right. But it's just going to belabor this thing, and it's going to make it worse.
Right.
So she seemed to be holding her own with it. I'm sure it's not the first person she's encountered who wanted to make some comments on her belly.
Right.
But you just don't know sometimes when to let.
You feel responsible.
Yes, you do.
For everyone's experience in your store. You feel responsible for managing the atmosphere and the ambiance. Mm-hmm. And everyone's experience is important. And that is very difficult when it means pregnant woman's experience is important. And also belly button man's experience is important. Mm-hmm. It's not always just as simple as like picking a hill and dying on it. So, I mean, I think it was wise to, let that sort itself out.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think there can be rules about it. We can't categorically say whenever a man makes a comment on a pregnant woman's belly, this is check the handbook and see what the rules
it's not
are.
in the Bible. It's not in our sales Bible. Yeah, that is it, that is complicated. But when it's just you, there's something.
You have a little bit more leeway.
You have a little more leeway. And sometimes I find it's like, sometimes it's just it's so rude that you have to laugh. Like there are some people that come in, and going back to the phone conversation, they'll come in, they'll be on the phone, they'll do shopping, and then they'll be on the phone through checkout.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And then they'll leave. And they'll never have really said 2 words to you. And that's always a weird feeling because you're thankful for the sale. But what just happened? Like, am I even here?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just had a memory of someone who was doing that. Talked all the way through their shopping trip. Shopped all the way through the checkout. Asked me, can you wrap that for me? Can you just wrap that real quick?
Yeah, whispering. They don't want to be rude to the person on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
just gonna whisper.
I took the item that they purchased and I went around the corner to wrap that. Mm-hmm. And when I came back out, they were walking out the door. They were they were so engrossed in their phone conversation that they left without the item
that they paid for
and had me wrap. Right. So I just left it sitting on the counter thinking probably they'll come back eventually, but I'm going to be damned if I'm going to chase this woman down the street.
Ask you,
no,
I
did not. I was like, screw you.
No way.
We'll probably have to edit that out. I was so like,
that's so gentle. We don't have to edit that out.
Screw you. Yeah,
you said butthole earlier. I think but you're so fine.
Gauche. So gauche. Okay, I got the last one on my list. You want? Okay.
I'm ready.
All right. The last one on my list is when a customer wants to know how successful your business is. Now, it can go 2 ways. They can be like, so you doing okay? You doing okay in the business? You making a lot of money? You having a lot of sales? Busy in here? Mm-hmm. Or they can be very kind of gentle and they can pity you and be like, so how's it going? Tell me really, how's it going? How are things? Has it been quiet? Is it slow around here? And you may not have a relationship with them at all. You may have never seen them before.
Right. Oh my God, Beth, let me tell you, we're coming off a winter's behind us.
Yes.
And the first year of a store is ups and downs, and we're in our first year at our second location. Yeah. So yes, we have a lot of people that are really excited about the shop and really excited in the shop succeeding. And the amount of people, strangers that I've never seen before, come into the store, purchase again, I'm thankful for anybody purchasing anything, but they'll purchase something small. Let's say a bar of soap, $5. And they'll come up and they'll be like, how's things going? Like, are you doing okay?
They're whispering.
Like, whispering to me. Like, it's just us. You can tell me. Mm-hmm. You can tell me how bad it is. And I'm like, everything's fine. It's great. Very steady. Like, this $5 is going to pay for my dinner. Thank you. Like, they're asking, are you surviving financially enough is this feasible? And I would never ask that of anyone that I wasn't very close to. Why would I tell a stranger how I'm doing financially?
I have no idea why they would ask.
I don't know.
And not see how rude it is. You know, it's so rude. It's none of your business. And
it's quite
how is it going to change their interaction? Like, if you say, no, we're having a really rough time, are they going to go out and buy a couple more shampoo bars? No.
Probably not.
They don't care. They just want the gossip of it. They want the gossip. Or if you're doing really well, they want to be they want to be like, oh, I guess they're really killing it over at Marilla's.
Yeah.
Like,
they just
they're just raking it in hand over fist over at Marilla's.
Right. And then there's it's one of those, so many of these rude customer interactions are like hands are tied kind of situations. There's no winning that question if you answer it genuinely. You know, like if Beth comes in and says, oh, Marilla, how's it going? And I say, oh my God, we're up from last year. It's just incredible. Like, I don't know what to do with all this money. Then Beth goes home and she doesn't think that she needs to shop with me regularly because I've made it. Like, I'm done. Mm-hmm. And then I lose a regular customer potentially. And if I say that I'm in the gutter and I can't make ends meet, one customer is not going to save.
No, and then they'll come in feeling like that the person, the shopkeeper, small business guilt. You know how some people feel like really, oh, I have to buy something because it's my moral duty. Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah. There's no winning. So the answer for that is always great. We're doing great.
Oh yeah. It's 1,000%. You're going to say we're doing great. And also, I don't even want to get into a long conversation with most people. Like you're going to explain the nuance. Well, it was slow on Monday, but we had a really great weekend. You know, like I don't want to talk to you about this.
Right.
Period.
Right.
The last time, well, not the last time, but one that comes to mind for me is a customer who came into my store. He used to shop with me frequently, but I hadn't seen him in a while. And I said, oh, hey, how are you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. I was not trying to be guilt trippy. It's just like, oh, what's going on? He's like, yes, it's been years since I've been in here. And I was like, has it been years? And he's like, yes, I haven't been in for at least 3 years. And I was like, okay. So that was kind of shocking, but okay. And then he said, he did that thing where it's like, listen, how's it going?
Oh my God.
How's it going?
Even though we've just said that 8 times.
Every time you say it,
it gives me the ick.
Right. So I said, of course, it's going great. Thanks.
Yeah.
And then he decides to continue.
Don't double down.
Yes. I'm going to tell you what he said. It's like, it's so hard for small businesses in this day and age. You see small business owners, they just put their heart and soul into the thing and they work so hard. They give it their all, and then it just goes right down the toilet because it's so hard. I'm standing there listening to this after he's just said that he hasn't been into my small business in over 3 years.
3 years.
Right. Right.
Was he hoping you were swirling the drain? Like, was he hoping
I guess he just wanted to come in and look at my like carcass before it was completely picked over.
Down
right?
the toilet hole.
He knew it was more than 3 years because he knew it was pre-pandemic that he had been in last.
Ugh.
So, okay.
Ugh.
But he wanted to engage. You could tell he wanted to engage in a long conversation, potentially have me gossip about the neighbors.
Yeah.
Potentially have me gossip about other businesses downtown that have opened or closed since the pandemic.
Right.
And I just was not doing it.
Just generally
It's
have a pity
gross.
party. Yeah.
It's gross. And I felt like he was really trying to, I almost felt like he was taking pleasure in watching this sort of like carnage of
businesses in general.
yes,
Just the plight of small businesses.
Yes.
Ew. Yeah, that's not good etiquette.
I felt like it was so wooden and awkward. I just felt like it was not graceful.
Bad form. Bad form. Oh, do we need to qualify that?
Not everybody is gauche, and that we're not judging everybody who walks in the front door. Only the people shoveling potato chips into their mouths
And asking what our numbers are for the day. Yeah. For the most part, wonderful, sweet, delightful, incredible customers that are the wind beneath our wings.
I know. This is the tough part about the podcast, though, because we do this to be able to tell how we really feel.
Right.
But then when we say how we really feel about a very small percentage of our customers, the tiniest percentage,
there's that. Oh my God.
It's like that. The ick factor, as you said, right?
Yeah.
Like, can we say that? Can we say that?
I guess we can, because we have a podcast and we're doing it.
I know. We do it with the hope that no matter what counter someone is working behind, no matter where in this or another country, like you've had these customers. In fact, let's go back to Salesways. These customers have existed forever and ever, since 1943, where Alice thought she needed to write a book about it.
Yes.
And probably for hundreds of years before that, there have been difficult customers in all places, in all ages.
And we better thank our lucky stars that Alice isn't around now, because her podcast would be crushing us.
Yes.
Our North Star, Alice Dowling. Yeah. So, yeah, I hope that this wild fervored rant fest about gauche customers at least makes some people feel better about opening their store today. Yeah, I know. And like makes somebody feel better about not telling someone how they're really doing, because you don't have to tell anyone how you're really doing.
Anybody how you're really doing, except for me and Marilla. Write in to tyfupod.com.
Yeah, and
submit your ideas. Tell us if you're up or if you're down, or if
Yeah.
If you know more than Marilla about shampoo bars, write in.
And also, like, I want to know, there are universal gauche moves that you can make in a store. Leaving your trash everywhere, talking on the phone, not paying attention to people, blah, blah, blah. But I also want to know what people's specific, like, rude.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you're a massage therapist, what's the rudest thing that a client does? Or if you are, I don't know, a doctor, if you're a taxi driver, like what are the things that pop up?
There's going to be things specific to certain businesses that we couldn't have anticipated.
And I want to know, so I'm not that person when I get into the taxi next. So yeah, let us know. Let us know what rude customers or client experiences you've had, and maybe they'll show up on the next episode where we talk about rude customers, because we'll never run out of stories.
Okay, how about a 5-star review?
Let's get on it. Let's get on it.
So I want to surprise you a little bit.
All right. I love a surprise.
Do you remember when a couple weeks ago you were in my store and I don't know what was going on, but we started talking about shampoo bars. And you're like,
As we do.
As a matter of fact, I'm in talks with one of my suppliers
Yes.
who is going to custom make a shampoo bar
Yes.
for Marilla's. And Beth, guess what? I have a sample if you want to try it.
Right here in my hands.
Yeah. Now, this was a great marketing strategy. You know me too well. You know if you get me to try something, I'm going to like it, and then I'm going to start buying it. But what happened was, Marilla, I finally ran out of my regular shampoo.
Okay.
And I tried the shampoo bar. And then I tried the conditioner.
Okay.
And I loved it so much. And I was like, freaking Marilla. Freaking Marilla. Now I have to buy shampoo bars.
Now I've got it. You.
But why was I so mad? I wondered. Like, I have no loyalty to this giant tub of shampoo
Whatever
that I
shampoo.
normally buy from Danny Wegman. Like, I have no
Danny.
interest in giving Wegmans more money. I have interest
Right.
in giving you more money. I have interest in giving small makers more money. And yet somehow I was a little annoyed feeling.
Like, damn,
and I was like,
she got
what, like, what is this? And it turns out, Marilla, I might be a middle-aged, middle-class woman who is stuck in her ways.
No. Yes. Not bad.
Right.
No.
I didn't think so, but it might be true. And so I then had sort of a crisis of identity. And
Okay.
I really
Yes.
took
yes.
like, I don't know, a couple days to work through. And
This
then I
midlife
texted
moment.
you a review. Do you remember I sent you a text about
Yes.
the shampoo bar?
Yes.
And I was like, Dear Marilla. Are you bringing it up? I see you're scrolling
I'm gonna bring
for
it up. Yeah. I'm going to bring it up for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Can I even find it? I think it was one meager sentence, perhaps.
It might have been a little clipped in tone.
So anyway, you loved the shampoo bar.
Right. What I said to you on the review was it suds up just like a regular shampoo.
Yes.
Because remember, that was a
That's a
that
thing.
was a thing. People don't believe it suds up
Well-
like a regular shampoo.
This is true. This is true. So what are you telling me that we're about to give?
Oh, right. Yes.
Hair
That's
care.
who makes your shampoo bars, or at least
Yes, that's one of the makers that I work with for shampoo bars. And Dip, Kate and Jonathan at Dip make some of the best shampoo and conditioner bars that I have ever tried. And I would love to give them a 5-star review.
Well, I'm down for it
All
because
right.
I'm not going back to my old shampoo.
Yes.
Now, because I'm a middle-aged, middle-class woman who doesn't like to change anything in my routine, I can never stop using dip bars.
Yeah, good. This is what I like to hear.
Yeah.
But now you're no longer middle-aged because you're using a shampoo.
I know, and I look
conditioner
so
bar.
much younger.
And so you're so
my
young.
hair is
your
just
hair
like,
looks like
my hair is 20 years younger all of a
is.
sudden. No, but I really do like it. I love the smell, and I love the way it makes my hair feel, and I love how much volume it gives me, and
Yes.
it really is better.
as this was a surprise, I saw Beth earlier this day and I thought to myself, her hair looks great. And so, yeah, this particular bar that I surprised you with is a collaboration. And it is a lilac scent for lilac season. So 5 stars for Dip shampoo and conditioner bar.
Thank you for that bar.
Of course, anytime.
Chat about the biz, it is the way it is. Thank you for understanding.
We sincerely thank you for understanding. Please visit us at tyfupod.com to learn more about the show, share prompt ideas, or tell us about your own small business experiences. We may include your story in a future episode. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube at TYFUpod or at tyfupod.com. Our theme music was composed by Marilla Gonzalez. The show is produced by Kelly Walker. Too bad for Kelly Walker. We need to edit that.
Edit.
Okay.